We got to fight this battle with truth. It has nothing to do with color, folks. So here's this stupid woman, a so-called Republican pundit, Sophia Nelson. She tweeted, and I mentioned that last week was Martin Luther King's 5th anniversary of the assassination. That means that I've been out of high school 50 years because I graduated in 1968. That's terrible. Am I that old? Yeah, I'm old. I've been out of high school longer than you've been on Earth. I know. Isn't that amazing? I have been out of high school longer than Joel, my audio engineer, been on Earth. Longer than my producer James been on Earth. That's amazing. But anyway, this woman, she tweeted, this is where I think white America is on race versus the rest of America. Until we see the shooting death of black men like Stephon Clark as all of our issues, nothing will change. As all of our issue, nothing will change. Stephon Clark was a thug, a criminal record. It was reported that he was running from the cops up in Sacramento, California area there somewhere. She said, we must continue MLK's 50th. You know, the sad thing about this is that MLK, Martin Luther King Jr., his life has been used for evil so much now, you hardly know what the man stood for. Because these blacks and liberal whites got children of the lie, they're using this man's legacy to promote evil. I seriously doubt that MLK would think that Stephon Clark's life is all of our issues. His father and mother failed him, no one else. Amazing. This is from C-SPAN. Here's this woman. Author Sophia Nelson says MLK would be margined with Black Lives Matter. Can you imagine this? Here we go.
With topics of race relations, equality, poverty, where are we 50 years later on those fronts?
Well, look, it would be wrong to say we haven't made progress. We've made enormous progress since the time that Dr. King was assassinated, and RFK and the whole 1968 year was a difficult year for America. And so we've definitely made progress. We've had an African-American president, and we have women that sit on the Supreme Court. So we've made progress, but not enough. We see young black men being killed in the streets at the hands of not only each other, but law enforcement. And they're always under suspicious circumstances, and there never seems to be adjudication or justice for those who are unarmed and are victims of this. And I think if Dr. King were here, he'd be on the front lines with Black Lives Matter and other organizations, and he'd be challenging this government and this nation to honor the civil rights that he fought for and his generation died for, literally.
Amazing. So this is a hypocrite. This is a liar. This is a daughter of the lie. A daughter of the lie. She's supposed to be a Republican. Later, you're going to hear her say that she is a RINO Republican. That's for sure. So Martin Luther King Jr. would be margined with a far-left, liberal, radical, agitative, evil organization like Black Lives Matter that was founded by black radical lesbians and black radical homosexuals and white radical white social justice warriors whose only purpose is to bring division and confusion between the races for a personal gain. And when these people start marching, what do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it? Now. There were some blacks who went out and started killing cops, white cops. Martin Luther King Jr. would march with that. Martin Luther King Jr. would not even march with Louis Farrakhan and Malcolm X for a while there, especially Louis Farrakhan. This woman is lying. unless there are some things that were going on that I don't know about. Martin Luther King was about love. He said, overcome evil with good, don't hate. There are good white folks, there are good black folks. Matter of fact, you had white people, Jews, and others participating in the marches for freedom so that blacks could be protected under the same laws that whites were protected under. It was about that. This woman is a bald-faced liar. And progress, I'm sorry, blacks have not made progress. Many have gone backwards. Most have. They're angry now. They were not like that prior to the Civil Rights Movement. 77% of black babies born out of wedlock to black women who were born in America. She said that Barack Obama became president. We had the first black president, and that's progress. That was the worst president on this side of heaven. The country went backwards rather than forward. Backwards rather than forward. The races were more divided. Barack Obama divided the races more than any other president in the history of America. Don't put up a monument of Barack Obama or a statue or anything. We don't want to remember him. And MLK would not be marching in the street for the thugs. She's lying. All this stuff she named and called it progress, it's just a lie. When black people get married, when they take back their lives from the so-called leaders and let Christ lead them, when they raise decent children, when they respect others as they would like to be respected or treated, when they start businesses in their communities where anybody can come in and they can serve, then that's progress. That's what they were doing prior to the godless civil rights movement. Sophia, you are a liar. A liar. Here's this woman, Sophia Nelson, lying Sophia, using these lies to manipulate and control while pretending to be a Republican. This woman, this is from C-SPAN, she attacks Trump for his Twitter and blames him for the division in the country.
I think because we've had a black president, we think we're over racism. It doesn't exist anymore. So I think it's harder in many ways to get through because for many white Americans in particular, the Roseanne America that everybody's talking about, those folks say, wait, I'm disenfranchised. I'm out of work. I'm struggling. Why am I worried about the rights of immigrants or women or minorities? Not that those things don't matter, but I'm struggling as a white American. So there's this great divide now. We're not talking to each other. We're talking at each other. And that's a problem.
How much is that fostered by the current administration?
Greatly.
How so?
Well, just go to Twitter. You know, the President of the United States is an office that's sacred. It's a sacred trust between the presidency and the people. And it has a decorum. It has a standard of conduct that no president has violated. No president in modern history had the device of Twitter the way that this president has at his disposal, but has used it in such a mean-spirited and ugly way. There's no one that's safe from his Twitter feed, and that's disappointing.
What a mean-spirited, evil woman. She makes you want to throw up. Phony as a $8 bill. Do we have $8 bills yet? This is terrible. And this is what's been happening in the black community for the last 60 years. That's why you have so many angry blacks who are blaming others. They listen to evildoers like Sophia Nelson. They are not thinking for themselves. This woman is an idiot. She's a liar. She's a deceiver. Show me one tweet from President Trump that proves that he's a racist. It's a bald-faced lie. This woman is evil. I hope she's not married with children because that spirit of evil will continue for generations to come if they end up like the mother. And the last soundbite, she says, this country was divided before President Trump came along. Why is it that prior to the President Trump becoming president, the blacks elitists worshiped him, they honored him, they loved him, they awarded him for being good to the black community? If he was a racist, if he is a racist now, why didn't they see him as a racist then? You know why? Because of the money. Dollar bill. That's what it's about. She admits she's a RINO and goes on and on about revolution and unity.
So as an African-American woman, being a Republican, I'm a moderate, a RINO, I guess is what they call us. So we're not too popular these days. But I think that this country needs two strong parties, and they need a good Republican Party and a good Democrat Party. As a woman of color, we still have a long way to go in terms of pay equity, in terms of equity. But you don't even have our white sisters aren't really doing well. But women of color are very far behind. For men of color, again, this issue of imprisonment, this issue of how they're being treated by law enforcement, and it seems to be we're cavalier about this. It's like there's this malaise over us where we just don't care. And so I'm concerned about us going backwards. It feels like we're going backwards instead of going forward. Yeah, we've got Me Too and Us Too and the great movements of our time. But Dr. King was a true revolutionary. And what that means is, like the founders, he actually did something. He just didn't talk and give speeches. People forget this man marched. He was with the sanitation workers in Memphis. He was doing things to move the ball. Now we like to talk. We don't do a lot of ball moving.
So movement comes how then?
It comes through revolution. It comes through challenge, change, provocation. It comes through people living out our motto, e pluribus unum, out of many one. And what that means is we don't have to agree. I am so sick of the notion that we have to agree. We don't have to agree. That's the beauty of our country. The founders in the colonies, there were 13 of them, they agreed on very little. What they did agree on was that King George was a tyrant and he needed to go. What we need to start doing as Americans is finding the things we agree on.
I agree that you're an idiot, a low IQ person. Revolution comes when black people take back their own lives, become responsible for their own lives, turn back to God. If they want a family, get married, father and mothers raise their own children. That's when revolution comes. Everything else is destruction. These people are liars. When I come back, I'll take your phone call. This is amazing. Back in a moment. So we got to fight for our country. I have several books I've written, but I recommend that these two. You can get them all and will not be disappointed. But I recommend From Rage to Responsibility. It was my first book, I believe. From Rage to Responsibility. I write about how I was able to overcome anger. I literally do not have the spirit of anger. God took it away from me when I realized I was wrong for being angry. And so and once that anger is gone, you wake up and you come into the light. You wake up from within. So From Rage to Responsibility. And the other one, my last book I wrote recently, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. I highly, Mamma Mia, recommend those two books. And therefore, any age, anybody, everybody, it gives you insight as to what's really happening in your life and the world around you. It's not about race, folks. It's about family. And I give you examples of what's happening to these race hustlers and the reason that they are race hustlers and how to overcome. You can go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble's or my website, rebuildingtheman.com. Or if you want an autographed copy, call my office at, well, you can call the order line, 800-411-2663, 800-411-BOND. Check out my nonprofit organization, BOND, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. For 28 long years, we have been rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man, bringing back God's order. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. It's a spiritual order. And when you're in that order, men and women are not in competition with one another, with each other. They are happy being a man and happy being a woman, and that love is passed down through God, through Christ, through the husband, through the man, through the wife, through the children. It's about that, nothing else. And so we're showing these guys how to forgive. Forgive their failing parents first. Most parents mean well, but they make mistakes along the way. And the children hold on to their anger, especially against their mothers, and they don't go and forgive, realizing that you can't help yourself. You become like your mothers when you resent. You become like anyone that you're angry at. Forgive, then God will forgive you. So we show them how to do that. We work with all men. We have an entrepreneur academy where we are teaching them how to start businesses, ages 15 and up. It's amazing, folks. It really is. Once they let that anger go and they see it's not about color, it's not about male or female, but it's about dealing with the issues of life and not overreacting to the issues of life, but overcoming. And we have this program, this academy, where we're teaching them how to start business. And 2 of the guys are starting their own business this year. It's amazing. Also, we have a credit union that we raised some money and started a little credit union so that we can loan them the money and then they pay back with interest so we can keep it going. We help find jobs, start businesses. We encourage them to get married before having children out of wedlock. Bringing back that order, go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com. The organization is Bond, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. We need your support. Go there for more information or call 800-411-BOND. We need your financial support. We got a lot of work to do. All right? We've never received one dime from the government. It's amazing.